What if Bryan Kohberger is innocent? What if he is? I mean, people aren't really giving him any type of benefit of the doubt. You have some crazy people who are all hell bent on proving that Kohberger is innocent. He didn't do this, even though they don't have real information. They just don't trust the government, which, hey, I don't either. I don't either, right? That's why sometimes I come off like I'm one of those crazy people. But overall, I believe that Bryan Kohberger probably did have something to do with this crime. That he probably is going to end up being found guilty. Does that mean that he did commit it? It doesn't. But judging from the evidence that's been presented to the public to give us reason to believe he did, well, I can see why the police think that he did it, although I don't believe that it's proof beyond a reasonable doubt, right? But we have to hope that Bryan Kohberger is indeed guilty of these crimes. And that reason that we really need to hope that he's the right guy is because he's the one in prison. He's the one accused of the crime. His life has been ripped away from him, and he's been sent to live in a cell. Bryan Kohberger no longer has his freedom. He no longer has his reputation. He no longer has the life that he has been working toward and trying to build for the last 28 years. Is that fair? Well, if he's guilty, absolutely it's fair. If he did indeed go in and commit a quadruple homicide on 4 college students who were doing nothing but trying to live their life, if he did go in and take the lives away from those people, he deserves every little bit of misery and the worst type of punishment, including a firing line. He deserves that if he committed the crime. If you do the crime, you do the time. But we have to hope and pray that he is the right guy. Because let's look at this from the perspective of an innocent Bryan Kohberger. So you're visiting your parents' house at Christmas break. You're home for the holidays from the other side of the country, where you've moved all the way across to go to the University of Washington so that you can get your PhD in criminology. You've already got your master's in criminal justice. You've already got an undergraduate degree in forensics. So, I mean, your life is pretty well made. You're right there at the finish line. When you finish this PhD, it's going to open so many doors. So you're walking around your parents' house, 4 o'clock in the morning, getting ready to start your day, and the door kicks in, and all of a sudden, here's all the police, and they're arresting you and charging you with a quadruple homicide that you had no part in whatsoever, that you have no clue about who did it or why it was done. You heard about it on the news like everybody else, and now you're being told that they believe you committed the crime, but you didn't. So, in your mind at that moment in time, everything's going to be okay. I didn't do this. I'll be able to show them that I didn't do this, right? Well, then they take you down to the station, and you're just waiting to talk to somebody so that you can show them you didn't do it. So they can understand, hey, this wasn't me. No, I'm not that guy. I'm sorry, you got the wrong one. You need to keep looking because I'm not him, right? But when you try to tell them that, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it at all. They're going to send you back to Idaho. You can tell that to those investigators because, Pennsylvania police just ain't got time to deal with you. You're not their problem. So now you're eager to get back to Idaho. So you waive your rights so they can send you back faster because you're eager to be exonerated. Once you get to Idaho, once you get there and you talk to the investigators and they realize who you are and the type of person you are, they're going to realize that they've got the wrong guy. It's all going to be okay. So you leave Pennsylvania. They fly you back to Idaho. You get back to Idaho. And by the time you get to Idaho, the media has painted you as if you're a cold-blooded killer, that there's no possibility that you didn't commit this crime. The media has given all kinds of false ideas of the evidence that they may have against you, and that evidence never existed. That you know you didn't commit this crime because, hey, you know you didn't do it. You don't remember doing it. You have no recollection of it, and you know where you were at the time that they say this crime happened, and it wasn't at 1122 King Road committing the quadruple homicide of Madison Mogen, Kaylee Gonzalez, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle. It wasn't there. So you're good, right? Something about this case makes Ann Taylor believe that you're not guilty. Well, immediately upon taking up the case, she has to jump into action because the state was trying to clean up the crime scene before anyone from the defense had a chance to go inside and see it for themselves. So the crime scene gets contaminated because by the time she gets the order to stop the cleanup service was inside the house already, getting started. So she's starting from behind the 8 ball already. And it seems kind of weird that the state wouldn't think, hey, this is a quadruple homicide on a college campus. We need to be very thorough because this could turn into a very dangerous situation with a lot of college kids coming here all the time, not expecting a serial killer to be on the loose, right? So we need to make sure that we do everything possible to get the right guy if we don't know who did it. You get Ann Taylor to stop the cleanup, she stops it. They start to tell you what evidence they have against you. They start to tell you that they've got your car on camera. Now, you've seen the video for this car. You know exactly what car they're talking about because it's been all over the media, right? This case is a nationwide, worldwide sensation, as a matter of fact. And you've seen this grainy video of this car that they claim to be yours, that they initially claimed was a 2011 to 2013 white Hyundai Elantra, which is not your vehicle. You have a 2015 white Hyundai Elantra. So you're feeling like, hey, they're reaching already on that aspect when their expert said it was a 2011 to 2013 and yours is a 2015. They're reaching to make that connection. But hey, somebody could have made a mistake, right? They just mistakenly thought, yeah, this could be his car. It'll all be cleared up when I tell them what year my car is. It'll all be cleared up because they can't have any evidence that I committed this crime since I didn't commit it, right? I don't even have ties to these people. Well, then you hear that they do have evidence saying that you committed this crime. They have direct evidence, in their opinion, saying you committed this crime. And that direct evidence is DNA on the button clasp of a knife sheath that they believe the killer left behind. The knife sheath they believe belongs to the weapon that was used in the commission of this crime. They don't know, but they believe that the type of weapon that fits this knife sheath is the same type of weapon used in the crime. And that knife sheath was beside, somewhat up under Madison Mogen, where Madison and Kaylee were found. So they believe that this knife sheath that has your DNA on it, underneath the button clasp, belongs to the murder weapon. Now, what type of DNA do they have? Touch DNA, also known as transfer DNA, which this is a minuscule amount of DNA. It can be easily transferred, hence the name transfer DNA, as if you're wearing gloves and you shake my hand and then you touch something. My DNA could go onto whatever that is you touched while wearing those gloves because I touched the outside of those gloves. That's transfer DNA. Now, it's important to remember that we're also talking about a party house where tons of people go to all the time, that we have video evidence showing that people at that home didn't even know who lived there several times. Because it's a college town. It's college parties. You see a party going on, you just walk up. What's up? Maybe you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. So anybody could have had access to that house. You could have been at that house and picked up a knife sheath that's already there. Maybe that knife sheath belonged to one of the victims themselves or one of the roommates. Maybe that knife sheath was always at that house and several people had picked it up. Maybe you shook hands with somebody and they picked it up. But that evidence, that DNA evidence that the police claim to directly tie you to the murders, doesn't even directly tie you to the crime scene. It's a knife sheath. It's portable. It was at that crime scene once the murders were completed, left behind. That does not mean that that knife sheath has always been at that crime scene. It does not mean that you touched that knife sheath during the commission of a crime. It doesn't even mean that you touched the knife sheath. So you're going to be all right. But the mainstream media has made it out as if you're some sick incel scumbag who is just got jealous rage over these pretty people, over these college co-eds who reject you completely all the time, and that you exacted your revenge animalistically, dramatically, by using a blade to personally leave your mark.